Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers mod showcase video. In today's video we're looking at something which I've been waiting for such a long time, and that is the motion influence turret, which is this thing right here. Now those words probably don't mean a lot to you, but let me rephrase it. It's a tractor beam. You can push enemies, you can pull enemies, you can hold them in place and drag them along with you using this lovely turret, which you see in front of me. So let's take a quick look at the turret before we go any further. So at the front here, we have got this lovely barrel. Some really nice modelling work has gone into this turret. The squariness might be a little bit off-putting at first, but it really suits the aesthetics of the vanilla Space Engineers blocks. So at the front here, we have got where the beam comes out. We have these three little knobby bits, which are only present on one side. We have this black matte panel over here with some nice shiny metal going around the outside. If we just keep going around, we get the rear of the turret with a little custom moving part right there. So when you move the turret up and down, that is how it works. I've forgotten what it's called, but you kind of get what I mean. Coming around to this side, we then get a small little radio antennas coming off the top there. And back around the front there, you can see that there's no little knobby bits on that side. As for the actual base itself, we have got some green lights which are signaling that we are powered and ready to go. If there is insufficient power, it'll be red. If there is no power, it'll be black. Coming around the side here, we've got another little green panel there which does the exact same thing. All the way around, we've got another panel which is identical from the opposite side, and a blank one. If I was to bring this up and tilt it down, we do have some detail on the bottom of the turret. No, that is not a connector. You can't do anything with the bottom of the panel because this doesn't use ammunition, it purely uses energy. Now it might be a bit confusing. If I come into my control seat and find the actual motion turret, you might see that it does contain ammunition in it, but this recharges back to 20 when you hit 0. I don't actually know where it comes from or what you do with it, but it just magically comes back when you hit 0. So yeah, it's magic energy ammo, which you don't have to worry about. And no, it's not an assembler, so you can't craft it. I have checked multiple times. So let's go and take this turret for a little spin, and then I'll go into the settings, showing all the little things you can do with this turret. So pressing 1, I can take control of it like a standard turret, and then if I was to shoot, I get a beam. If I was to shoot this little plane over here, I can pull it towards me, but note it stops right there. It cannot go any further because there is a little safety system in place that stops you from pulling it into yourself. However, if you did want to pull it into yourself and just smash your base and kill yourself, you can do by disabling it. So let's go into the settings and take a look at them. So we got the standard turret stuff at the top here where we can have shoot on and off, the aiming radius, which we can put all the way up. We've got the idle movements, target meteors and whatnot. Then if we come all the way down to here, we then get the unique controls for this turret. So let's look down here. So this is explaining a bit about the ammunition. So it generates ammo itself by drawing power. It can show you how many energy charges have been produced, the accumulated power, and the current draw of the turret. If I scroll down a bit, we can see the required draw and if the power is insufficient or not. So it creates ammunition from your power. So reactors, batteries, solar panels, and all that. But let's talk about the settings over here. So at the top here, we've got push and pull, enable and disable. Now it might sound silly to disable a turret that's supposed to be able to push and pull, but we can change the functionality of it by using it to slow down or speed up ships that try and get too close. Because below, we have got velocity reduction, which controls whether or not the beam can reduce the velocity of the target. So if we disable that and enable velocity reduction, we can then turn ourselves into like a freezing beam and hold the enemies in place. We then have force direction, so this is if we want to only have push or only have pull. So if you want to pull your enemies towards you or push them away, you can choose this by one of the options here. We then have target center of mass. So this is, in short, to stop ships from going a little bit wacky when you try and pull them in or push them away. Because if you don't have this turned on, they might start spinning around constantly, which could be funny, but it might ultimately crash the game. So we should just leave this on. We then have reverse direction range. So this is to save you from yourself, basically. Let's say you've set this up to pull in any enemies that come close to your base, because you want to draw them in to within range of your turrets. We set this to whatever meters you want, and when the enemy crosses that mark, it will then reverse the turret direction, so it will push it away. This is so you don't pull in a ship and it comes crashing into you, destroying half your ship along with itself, unless of course that is what you want. We then have minimum target velocity. Allows you to set the minimum speed a target velocity can be reduced to. So this is if we want to slow the enemies right down or speed them up and get them to whiz past our base because we don't want them near us. And then we have the power multiplier, which increases the power of the push and the pull. But do note, if I scroll all the way down here, if we increase it, the power also increases, which as you can see at 300%, I do not have enough power on the starting base of the alien world. Below it is a range multiplier, which is exactly the same as power. It just increases the range to a ridiculous amount. I think it's 3 kilometers it can go up to, but it requires a lot of power. So what I'm going to do here is very quickly just go and drop the minimum target velocity all the way down. I want to have the reverse range to be quite low. Let's go back to 8 meters, and I want to pull the enemy. So now I'm going to take control of the turret and shoot it at that. I pulled it in close and I blown up the turret. Yes, so that is something that can happen if you set the minimum distance too low for it to reverse from pulling to pushing. So what I've done is pasted in a load of the motion influenced turrets and given them all to the pirates. And well, they're just having a lot of fun with the poor little miner. Let's try and get a closer look here. I've set them all to basically pull them into a certain direction at maximum force, and this is what we get. It's very wibbly wobbly. So what I'm going to very quickly do is delete this. There we go. They should all now start targeting me. As you can notice that they are not doing anything to me, even though I have my jetpack turned off, they simply won't do anything. They will only affect ships. Or at least that's what I've found so far. What are they doing over there? Hey, they've gone crazy. They've got a mind of their own. So I'm going to come down here. I've safely put the atmospheric fighter all the way down here. And we're just going to do a very quick little drive-by past the base. So, oh, I've been caught. Help. Yes, I know it's low. I'm trying to fight the tractor beam. I'm holding forward as much as possible. It is just not good enough. I'm trying... Too many tractor beams here. Help me. I know what I can do. I can try shooting them. Activate the Gatling turrets. Gatling guns. Nope, they really want to get to me. Luckily, I have rockets. I've disabled some of them, but I've been caught in their web. A bit overkill having this many, but as you can see, if you set them up right, there is nothing you can do once you've been caught in there. But you know what we can do now? Oh yes, now we've got this all set up to push and pull. I think it's time to spawn in some large ships. Now I am in survival mode, which might make things a bit problematic. So let's spawn it. No, we're not going to use that ship then. I've decided against it. But let's see what we can get off the workshop, which can fly in survival mode. Let's see. Oh, this will work lovely. The good old Type A. I don't even know how to pronounce that. I've used this so many times. Right, so there is the ship. I have a feeling it's going to do what it always does in combat and deploy parachutes constantly. So I need to come up to the control bay, but I'm too lazy to get in the door. So I'm just going to open that up and get into here. So here we go. We've got a really big ship. In fact, how big is this ship? If I come all the way down to here. This ship is 9,000 blocks in total. So we're going to go up against a army of tractor beams to see how well this goes. So we're just going to keep going along. We've got our rocket launchers at the front. Oh god. Nope. I can sort of fight away. I can fight away 2 or 3. Come on, I can do this. They're not at maximum power. They're only about 150 power in total. So I'm now over here. Let me just stop. Oh, what have they done? Oh, I think I crashed into the base. I forgot how big this ship is. Let's now take my free camera. Find what they're trying to shoot at. Oh, there is a lot of beams here. Oh, they've turned. They have turned onto everything. In fact, that could be the thumbnail. Oh, they all want that. That is the only thing that has not been changed. And here we go. You can see them pushing away that little block there. I don't know what that little block has done to them to anger them that much. But now they've all pulled on to me. They're going to try and pull me back. But they're also going to try and push me away, which means I should have the thrust to go away. And yes, that is the tractor beam system. You can put them on a ship, although I wouldn't do that unless you're doing a really big ship, because they do consume a lot of power. So anyway, it'll be in the description below if you wish to download and try it yourself. I highly recommend you do, because these can be quite a lot of fun for a non-projectile based defense. In fact, it could be non-hostile defense, because you can just simply move them along using your beam. But now I'm just going to crash straight into here. Your tractor beams have no power. Oh god, they actually do have the power to stop me. Ha! I sort of worked. There we go. I have disabled the pushing tractor beams. But yes, as I was saying, I got distracted there. It's in the description below if you wish to download and try yourself. And I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.